So tell us what are really the origins of trust selling? Where did the idea come from, and how did you sort of say, I got to do this?
Sure. So there's an experience that happened to me when I used to be a sales manager in a software company. We launched the first online website data collection tools. Now it's called Google Analytics. Back then, actually cost money. And I was managing a large team underneath me, but the big leads came across my desk, the big opportunities. And this one day I got a phone call from the website. I picked the phone up and it was a huge opportunity, big company, lots of websites, and they agreed to a conference call Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock, never forget it. I went in the conference room with my CEO, closed door behind me, big long conference table. In the middle of the table was the old school speakerphones. Remember the three legs on it, like Star Trek looking phones?
Yep.
And I had the dial tone and I dialed the number. My guy picks it up. He's like, hey, Ari, how's it going? I said, good. And he says to me, Ari, let us tell you who's with us on the line today. I said, great. Next thing I hear is, my name's Mike, I'm CEO. I was like, oh, this is good. My name's Chris, I'm head of IT. Even better. My name is Julie, I'm head of global marketing. Amazing. I mean, everybody on this call was a decision maker. Like, if this is going to happen, it's going to happen now, pretty much. So I introduced myself. We all logged in and I began giving a live demo over the web to show them what it looks like to see all their information of their website statistics live. And I'm showing this to them, walking them through everything. And I started to hear these noises on the phone call, like, wow, this is great. This is amazing. They start asking me all kinds of questions. How does it work? How do we install it? You know, how does technology work? And of course, I had all the answers and I gave them the information back. There was so much chemistry on this phone call, Carl. It was like a love fest on the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? They got the questions. You got the answers. You're saying to yourself, this is a no-brainer. There's no resistance. This is perfect. All is well. So an hour goes by. They're excited. They're amazed by the offering. I do everything I was taught to do in the sales game. Answering objections, building rapport, building relationships, you know, doing everything I'm supposed to do by the book. And at the end of the call, my guy's like, all right, this is amazing. We love it. Look, give us a call a couple of weeks, follow up with us, and we'll move this thing forward. I was like, oh, thank you, God. Perfect, you know? So I said my goodbyes. I reached for the phone to hit the off button. As I'm reaching for the off button, by complete accident, I hit the mute button instead of the off button. And they thought I hung up the phone. And that split second, a voice inside of me says, Ari, go to the dark side. Be a fly in the wall.
Yeah.
Go where no one's ever gone before in the world of sales. So I pulled my thumb back for a couple moments. They started talking amongst themselves, thinking I had left the call. Now, this is not a trick question, but what would you imagine, what would you expect them to have said on that call if you listened in? What would you imagine they would have said after a call like that?
Well, a couple of things probably. I mean, they could have either been positive, wow, we're really looking to follow up, just like they said, or we're never really going to want to talk to that guy again, right?
Yep, exactly. Well, I'll share with you what they said verbatim, word for word. I'll never forget it. That's why we're here today. They said this. They said, we're not going to go with him. Keep using him for more information and make sure we shop someplace else cheaper. Knife in heart twist. I was in a state of shock. I could not believe it. I snapped out of it. I hit the off button. I looked at the wall and I said to myself, what did I do wrong? I was professional. I was relationship based. I answered all the questions. I did everything I was supposed to do as a student of selling. And the first big idea hit me, and that was this, that somewhere along the way, it has become socially acceptable not to tell the truth to people who sell. Right? It's okay to say things like, sounds good. Send me information. Oh, we're definitely interested. Oh, wait, send us a what? Send us a proposal.
Yeah.
Without any intention of moving forward. And then I asked myself, why were they afraid to tell me the truth? Why all these games? And I realized finally that there is embedded in the sales process and conversation with people, there's this deep well of pressure that sits there. And if you aren't aware of it, and you don't know how to remove the pressure from the process, they'll always have their guard up. Just giving you enough that you want to hear, breadcrumbs. And you end up chasing people your whole career, making a few sales and wondering what happened to the rest. And I decided I'm going to do something about that. That's where I made the whole shift around what I call unlock the game, where a whole concept is you change your thinking around the definition of what selling is in its essence. It isn't anymore about making the sale. It's about building deep trust with people to see if you're a good fit or not. And when you create what I call a moment of vulnerability with people, they feel comfortable opening up to you, then you get the truth of where you stand, and you don't have to chase people anymore who are going to ghost you. And that became my whole unlock the game shift, trust-based selling shift 20 years ago, which is now, of course, has a huge movement behind it, changed thousands of lives.
Well, it's a great story, Ari, because what many people in sales have had that same experience, for sure. And they all experience a lot of emotional letdown because of rejection.